Alrighty, we are here wrapping up day 2 of practice for the Costa FLW Series Championship on Lake Cumberland. Got Robbie Crosnoe with me. Robbie, you're from Florida?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, Cumberland is not quite Florida. What's your impressions so far?
Kind of upset I don't get to flip, and we don't have no shallow water, but I'm kind of learning it. It's deep lake.
Yeah, big time.
You know, your boat's sitting in 50, 60 foot of water sometimes and you're casting the bank. So it seems like everybody's running the bank. I think it's going to be one on the bank.
All right.
Just in pockets and creeks, but I'm getting bit all right, so we'll see how it goes.
Cool. How much of the lake have you seen? Because it's obviously a really pretty large lake. It doesn't have like the same maybe fishable area that a place in Florida does where it's all 5 feet deep, but there's a lot of it.
Well, I think we're about mid-lake right here.
Yeah.
And it took us 40 minutes to run down the lake, and that's basically where I spent both my days of practice so far. It's probably where I'll spend the next 2 days. This lake is so overwhelmingly large. You know, it's a 40-minute run just from right here, mid-lake, down there.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got some big creeks down there. It's a lot of water to cover. I see a lot of guys on the main river also just, you know, pounding the bank. So I think that's the pattern. I think that's the way it's going to be won. Have
you noticed, you know, anything about, hey, you got to be in the creeks, you got to be on the main lake? Have you caught, what's your species mix been? Have you caught some smallmouth? Have you caught a little of everything?
I would have weighed in today a largemouth, a smallmouth, and the rest spots. So
okay, that's cool.
I'm catching more spots than anything, but no, I did catch 2 pretty good largemouth today and 1 really good smallmouth. So yesterday
they don't have in Florida.
That's right. Yesterday I had some really big bites on the main river. So tomorrow I'll probably spend most of my time on the main river tomorrow.
All right. Have you noticed, obviously you haven't fished really up the lake much, but have you noticed differences, either water clarity or temperature or anything down here, or is it all kind of similar?
It's all, to me, it's been similar. From this lake, from this point forward, like mid-lake, down the lake, it's fairly clear. I mean, in my standards, it's really clear, but so it all seems to be the same. Even way back up in the creeks, it's still clear.
All right. Now, you've had 2 days. What's your vibe on what it's going to take to do well here? Like, what's going to be a good bag?
I think 15 pounds, you're really doing good.
Okay.
You know, I think there'll be an average of 8 to 10 pounds, quite a few bags of that with spotted bass. But to get on the big smallmouth and largemouth, I think 15 pounds, you're going to be sitting real good.
All righty. Well, Robbie, thanks for stopping by, and good luck out there.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right. It is basically a tradition when we're at Lake Cumberland to interview Jeremy Lawyer.
Seems like that's how it's worked.
So this is a different Cumberland than we've seen before.
Absolutely.
It's the fall and it's low. So tell me about it.
Well, just like you said, it's the fall and it's low. If we were a little bit later, it'd probably be better. But it's just extremely low from what we saw the last time. And I even chuckled today. I went by this sycamore tree where I caught one on a spinnerbait when we were here in the tour event. And I'm like, that's like 35 feet. You know, it was crazy. So, but no, it's totally different. It's going to be a whole different ball game.
All right. Now, I know that you have in the past, in the fall, won some topwater tournaments. Lake of the Ozarks, places like that. Is this going to be one of those deals where you keep a plopper in your hand and a buzzbait in your hand the whole time, or not really?
You know, I run around this morning and tried to do some of that. I had a couple fish just kind of come up and lick on it, not really, you know, anything crazy. And so I don't know. After what I saw today, I don't know what kind of tournament it's going to be. Okay. You know, we just kind of bumbled around and caught one junk fishing, but when we were here before, if you just put your head down and picked up a rod, whether it was a jerk bait or a swim bait or whatever it might have been, a spinner bait, you could catch 5 doing whatever you want to do. And it just doesn't seem like it's that way right now. Okay. It seems like if you catch one, you might as well go do something different, you know, and everything. And we just saw a small portion of the lake today. So we'll go put in somewhere new tomorrow and try to see something different. Yeah, so we're here, you know, Conley Bottom, kind of mid-lake. What are your plans these next 2 days? Because this is your first day of practice, actually, right? Yeah, we didn't get here till today, and we got here last night and everything. Yep. And so we'll probably go down to the lower end and practice one day, and then maybe depend on tomorrow how that goes, whether we put back in here and go towards Burnside or put in at Burnside and try and just stay up there. But, you know, we got a whole different set of weather, too. We got 3 days of sunshine, I think, right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful now.
It is. It's really gotten nice in the last hour or so. But I think for the tournament, we're going to have a couple of days of rain. And so, really, it may turn into a big topwater deal. But as far as what I saw today, I didn't see that.
In your experience in the fall, when you get that sort of nasty weather, I think it's supposed to be pretty cold too. Like, can that turn on a topwater bite in your mind, or is that maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if the water's like 68 degrees, roughly around there, you know, if it was 58, it'd probably be way better for those kind of conditions. It doesn't seem like, even if we got 3 nice days of 70 degrees and then we get a couple of cold days, it's like it's a little too late, you know, to actually make a big push and everybody just smash them. So we might have some good fishing day conditions, but Mother Nature's just a little bit behind.
All right. I know we've been here a couple times before. You've been at both of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone in on a run-in bite in practice or in the tournament? Because I know that's a thing here that people look out for, and if we're going to get rain, it stands to reason that could play.
You know, in the spring when we were here, I did, but I have never got in a run-in bite in early fall. Seems like when that comes into play, it's like late November, early December, late December, because the fact the water is cooled off and that water coming in is a little warmer.
All right.
Where here, we're trying to get it to cool off and the water's coming in warm, and they're just not really interested in it. You may catch one just because the wind's blowing in there and bait and he's just ambushing, but as far as them keying on it, I don't think he'll see that.
You don't think it's like that?
I don't think it'll play.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out, because it sure looks like we're headed for some rain, and if it rains, then it's going to come down into the lake, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you can see where the stuff has really been piled up and then fallen, and now it's piled up again. And so if we get too much rain, there may be a bunch of debris in the lakes, you know, depending on if it raises up. And so I think there could be a lot of changes by the time we get this thing kicked off on Thursday.
What's your experience with just fishing lakes where it's drawn down this much? Because there's obviously a lot of water left in the lake. It's not like it's difficult to navigate or anything, but it's a lot lower than usual.
Yeah, the problem I see is that, like, it's eroded everything up there in the top 20 foot of dry land to where you should be fishing that and actually give the fish something to get on. And all that erosion is just silted down, and it really just made the banks like sandy banks. They're just really nice, look like manicured banks, and it just acts like there's nothing there for the fish to get on. And then with them taking 30, 35 foot of water out of the lake, that nice little roll off you got before it falls off in deep water is on dry land.
All down.
And so now it's just like you're fishing a wall constantly, and so there's definitely some things that are going to handicap us being able to catch them a little bit.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see how it shakes out. You got 2 more days to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, Jody.